Hi everyone, it's Rivka, and today we're doing the week of June 4th through the 10th, and I'm going to be doing this one actually pretty themed, which is kind of different, but something I'm trying to move towards doing more often. And I do have the washi picked out, and that's what I'm going to get started on, but I didn't know if I would be able to see the color at the bottom, like those dots, through the washi, and if I did, sometimes it doesn't look so bad, so I wanted to check. And that's what I'm doing here. I checked the Love You washi that I'm going to be using at the bottom there, and I checked the dark blue that I'm going to be using at the top of the page up there. And the dark blue blocks out the numbers, but the Love You washi does not block out the bubbles. So I am using my white sticker paper like I usually do to cover those up, and I do have some nice pieces because I just did sticker printing and cutting them down, so my stash is fairly full. It probably will go down very soon, but I'm using them until I don't have them anymore, so yeah. And I am just laying them out, and I do end up covering a bit of the bottom black line, but it's not a big deal to me because the Love You washi kind of makes its own line. And I did miss one bubble there because that strip was not long enough, but I'm going to use a small little piece because that's all I really needed was to cover one more bubble, or I think it's one or two more bubbles, something like that. Anywho, I did cover that up, and I'm cutting off the edges to make it a nice even sheet so that I can lay out the washi easier. And I'm doing that on this side too. And while I have this moment, I am going to mention that the washi that I'm going to be putting down here at the bottom is, from recollection, it was a tube of washi. It did have several different like tie-dyed washis with different words on them, and I bought it like a year or two ago. I don't think they make them anymore. I haven't seen them recently, but I could be wrong. And because the rolls were starting to not have very much on them, I wrapped them around this mason jar that I had made, and it is laminated, and that way I could keep the remaining washi but not have it take up so much room in my storage. And I don't have very much room in my storage, so I really wanted to save as much room as possible for as many supplies as I possibly can, I guess. And so I like to have some free space. If it's too cluttered, the creativity is a lot harder for me, so I do like some space and room to play, so yeah. Anywho, that's why I did that with the washi. And then now I'm putting this navy blue at the top, and then I'm going to also put it along the sides. And this washi is from Recollections as well. It came in one of those large tubes, and it was just a bunch of different sized solid color washi. So that's what I use on here. And the theme, I don't know if you guys saw at the beginning, there is a mermaid sticker sheet, and that's like what my basis was for the spread. I had gotten it last year from an Etsy shop, and I didn't have a chance to use it then, so I wanted to make sure I used it this year over the summer, and this was the perfect time, I thought. And the Love You washi at the bottom, it was a nice tie-dye, and it kind of screamed like sea to me, so I thought that would be perfect. And then the dark blue really gives a nice background for the actual stickers, so that's what I'm using all the way around. And yeah, it makes it much more like under the sea kind of a vibe and feel, but you do have a little bit of that Love You in there, which I did like. And I was never somebody who was very into mermaids until my fiance actually told me a couple times, that like a pose I was doing was very mermaid-like, or that my hair looked kind of mermaidy. And so now when I see a mermaid, I think of him telling me that, so it makes me happy. So yeah. And I am using that little piece of the washi that I cut off to, do those strips. Okay, apparently words are not forming right in my mouth today. I'm sorry, but I'm doing the best I can. Alright, so I am using a scissor to neatly cut that off, and then I'm going to do the other side. Yeah, it's fairly simple on this part. The next washi that I'm going to be using is a green color, and it was a good one for, I'm going to say, under the sea plants. That's what I was thinking of when I picked that to go with this spread. And I'm going to put those along the black lines of the boxes. And yeah, so I'm just going to use the same color along all three of them. And it's pretty self-explanatory. I just wanted to get as much of the plain black off, and that way it was all cohesive together. Does that make sense? At the top, I was trying to see if I could also cover up the days of the week, like if you could see it through it, but it would have made it less black and have gone with the washi a little bit more. So that's what I was just trying, but it didn't quite work right with the spacing, so I decided not to do that and to just leave the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday alone. So yeah, now I'm going to do the same thing on the next page. Again, very self-explanatory. I lined up the top of the washi with the top of the black line, and then I cut it off with the 6-inch metal ruler. Alright, and then when I finish doing this in a second, I actually had to go and I think I had to finish cooking or maybe put up the food. I don't remember exactly. Anywho, that's why in a moment it's going to jump to when I was able to come back and finish filming, which is right here. So this is what it looked like with just the washi, which I did actually like how it looked. It was very basic but very cool in the same way. And then I decided to use these gold stickers to put both the name of the month, which was June, as well as the numbers on the page, and I thought it would tie the top of each page with the bottom where it says love you in gold. So that's why I picked those, and it is cursive just like the bottom. A slightly different cursive, but still cursive. It was the closest I could probably get. And yeah, again, these stickers, I think I mentioned this in the June monthly spread, which I will have linked for you down below if you'd like to see that. I posted that last week. These stickers sheets, they each came with 2 sheets of each color. So when I was trying to store them, I double stick taped the pages back to back, figuring it kept them together, and if I needed like a letter from each page, I'd have what I needed. But by doing that, I made it way more difficult to take these slightly delicate stickers off the page, because part of how you get the stickers off is you bend the page, which normally isn't a problem, but because the page is much thicker, it's harder to bend, it's less flexible. So I don't recommend doing that. It was part of my learning curve, I guess. And yeah, I'm using them. And I can still get them off. It's just sometimes you'll see a wrinkle in there and you just have to kind of iron it out with your finger once it's on the page. But yeah, and over here I had to make myself a 1 because I didn't have any 1s left. I actually made that out of a Z, but it was giving me a bit of a problem, so that I ended up doing it off camera and just putting that down there. And now my usual of putting down my fiance's logo for his box so that I can mark off what he's doing when, and yeah. And then I do the same thing for our son, who gets the middle box, and I just wrote out his name because he doesn't have a business logo. So I did put hockey sticks on either side because he has been super into hockey. But I think I'm going to actually take those off because his interests keep changing, which is a good thing, and I'm glad I had the hockey sticks for this one, but if I print out a whole sheet, it's easier if I just print out his name, and then I can always add whatever I want to next to it if I want to decorate it even more. I did decide to put down those first, that way when I put out the decorative stickers, I didn't get them, in the way of where these functional stickers needed to be. And this was one of the few weeks that, because I had these stickers, I could use that to cover up the notes and not use the Create 365 sticker book for one of those circles. It happens occasionally, and I think it's actually cuter when I have like a sticker that ties in with the theme when I'm doing decorative ones. So I really do like the spread quite a bit, and I think that that part definitely adds a lot of the reason why I like it onto this page. But I had used some of the stickers last year, not very many of them, and now I'm going to be finishing off this entire page actually. And I'm just playing with the different stickers that are on there. I didn't want any of the mermaids because there's like duplicates of each mermaid, which makes sense. I didn't want them right next to each other, so I tried to lay it out where, you know, there was like one of each mermaid on each page. And sorry, excuse me. So there are mermaids, there are fish, there's a sandcastle over in the corner, and then some shells and a seahorse, and then just some bubbles, and I just lay it out, and I try to stick it mostly on the blue because the blue makes these ones pop more with the dark background, plus it looks more like they're in the sea, so I did do that as much as possible. And it's a little bit more busy than what I'm used to or what I usually like, but I do like having, I'm going to say, busy ones thrown in the mix to keep me on my toes and for something different. You know, if you always do the busy kind, you'd probably get bored of it or feel nice and refreshed if you have like a simple one week. And that's kind of what I do. I try to do some simple ones and some more busy ones that are more decorative and just fun. And this one was definitely a decorative, more fun spread that, you know, I did. And these mermaids are super cute. I just have to say that one more time. Anywho, I'm putting out the bubbles. I wanted to get them on the page, and that's where I had the most like space, but I don't really like where they ended up. So I don't know if I'm going to move them or just take them off, or if it'll be something I get used to. I'm not sure yet, but that's how I leave it for now. And that's about it for the spread. So I do hope you guys enjoyed the spread, and I hope you guys come back for more. And as I said, I'll have the June monthly linked below, and there are some other options at the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed, and stay tuned for more. There should be a DIY out this Thursday. Have a great one, and I hope you subscribe. Bye.